Mic test, everything all good. Let me watch my own stream, make sure everything is fine. Okay, let me know if my audio is okay so I can, start the stream before it. I don't know. But hello everybody, hello, what is this mech? Which mech? Which mech? Also, hello everybody, welcome! So, today we'll be talking about a lot of things. I haven't streamed Iron Saga thing for about a month, I think. And today I'll be covering everything, or every new notable things that have been covered in Iron Saga Ian for this month. I'll be going over the new banner mecha, that is the Maha something, I don't know how to say his name, but the peacocking basically. And then I'll be talking about Great Mazinkaiser Saga, the Retrofit, as well as the new Awaken of Sayaka. Hold on, I don't even remember. Yumi's Awaken, as well as Hell RGK, which is not in the thumbnail because I don't have any room left because I want to show the whole skin for Yumi. So again, let me know if the audio is fine. Let me watch my own stream again just to make sure everything is okay. Also, if you're watching this in the future, like if you're watching this in the future, right? Whoa, what the heck is... Oh my goodness. Apologize! Well, I don't know what just happened. I was watching... Apologize. What was that? I was watching... Okay, I didn't know they will... I didn't know they will freaking do that. Okay, hold on. Yeah, my bad. Sorry for that. Sorry for the thing. Anyway, hold on. Let me get the sound again. And then is the great... What does counting mean? Counting? Anyway, hold on. Let me go on YouTube, make sure everything is fine. This early? Yeah. Did I mean to stream? So hang on a second. Let me watch my own stream, make sure everything is fine, right? Also to, you know, wait for people to come too. So yeah, give me 1 second, right? Okay, seems like it is fine. Alright, now let's start. Apologize for the sudden whatever that was, right? Okay, so let me show myself. Hello, buddy. Hello. Yeah. Wait, hold on. Oh my god, hold on. Why is my... Okay, hang on. Let me, I need to do something real quick, because I have VIP. I don't know why it didn't, I don't know why it didn't let me have the VIP thing, because I updated my streaming, or my mirroring thing, so give me 1 second. Alright, close the page, and I should have local cast permanently. I should, yeah, hold on, let me show my phone again. There you go. Alright, so first of all, while we're waiting for more people to come, I will be talking about just some news on Iron Saga NC, on potentially, you know, the thing we'll be getting in the future. So, of course, soon tomorrow I'll be posting a video on Hraesvelgr Retrofit, which is Hraesvelgr Abyss if it's like direct translation. So that'll be very interesting. Of course, we got some new mecha, which all of them I have made a video about. So yeah, what else? And yeah, new skins, new Erlang video, new skin for her as well. I don't know when Ian will get this, but yeah, mostly just not, I mean, new sub also, but I think I covered them already on my last stream. But yeah, nothing much. Alright, so, well, since there's not much things, I guess I will go into, the guide. So, well, some video for the peacocking, since I only have, fought against it before, I don't really have it myself, so all I can say is take my suggestions with a grain of salt, as well as know that a lot of things I talk about are what NC are how people are back then in NC, as well as how people have used it in EN that have saw. So just make sure to know this before you do anything. And I wouldn't be going to the build guide. I will talk about what builds you can go for, but I wouldn't be talking about the builds guide about the peacocking, because again, I personally don't have it. So yeah. I'm gonna go into both EN and NC of the Peacocking because, again, EN sometimes may have a lot of wrong text, which I will get into, especially on Yumi Awaken, because Yumi Awaken actually have some very misleading text. Alright, so let's get into Peacocking. Again, for Peacocking alone, I will be talking about it more, I guess, more openly, because, again, I never had this unit, but I only fought against it. So, let's just get the basic info. I mean, it is pretty heavy. Again, pretty heavy. Being heavier is always usually better in PvP because you're less easier to be knock around, and of course something does scale with weight. So yeah. If you want like a first impression about Peacocking, or what you should do about it is good, but it is not needed. It is a good mecha to have, but it is not a necessity. It is good at a lot of things. It is good in PvP, it's good in PvE, it can like, not just good in PvE, because you have so much things. Like, if you look at the thing, you have blunt weapon, fist weapon, actually no. Okay, I thought I had a sword for some reason, but I mean, just a blunt and fist can already be pretty useful in this aspect, especially for Abyss, where you will have to use a certain element, or you'll have to use certain weapons in order to fight that mission. And Peacocking covers a lot of that. Peacocking actually covers a lot, because you got electric, it got acid, it got some other things, where a lot of mecha only have like one element or one type of weapons, or only a few types of weapons. But because Peacocking have this much different types of things, you can actually be using it in Abyss more. So yeah, it is good. But yeah, that's I'll get into. Also, if you ask any questions, I'll answer it after I finish talking about certain things. So basic info pretty heavy. That's pretty good. Now, so first chassis honestly is a bit long, but basically it have 100 feathers, and those feathers can be used to cleanse basically some debuffs. Where's he burns? Okay, I feel like the NC. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go into NC, because again, EN translations can be a bit wrong. So anyway, so basically, yeah, it starts with 100 feathers, and then every 0.1 second it will also recover. So very quickly, like it can get the feathers back very quickly, as long it is not being as long it is not also being used. So whenever it takes damage, it can use one of the feathers to reduce, or every damage it takes, it will use one of the feathers in order to reduce the damage based on how much feather it does have. So of course, the first few damage you'll take will be reduced by a ton. And of course, it will also, I believe, and it will also cleanse, which is again a very important thing, because full immune team are not really viable anymore, because there's so many lower immunity status in the game. So it doesn't matter if you have 100% immunities, it will not be good. But because this one just cleanses it, so essentially for the first 100 damage that you will take, you are immune to status effects. And this was especially useful because Wolong Thunder Retrofit come before Peacocking in NC, and that's especially useful because now that Peacocking can at least move around a tiny little bit in PvP, because again, Wolong just makes everyone unable to move for the match if you don't have some sort of anti-debuff. And since you couldn't really use since you couldn't really use full immunities, having just a skill that can cleanse you will be much more useful. But again, even back then, the 100 feathers can actually be used up pretty quickly. So yeah, it might sound like a lot, but due to how much multi hits there are in the game, as well as just you're taking damage constantly, sometimes 10 of 20s of hits per second. So sometimes it might be used, sometimes the feathers might be used up pretty quickly. And yeah, but it's still a very good skill to have, especially in a meta where there are Wolong Thunder, which again, it's not like a foolproof plan against Wolong Thunder, but it is better than some other mecha can do in that against Wolong. So Second chances, self final damage value increased by 40%. Most mecha has this kind of things now, so basically just do 40% more damage after firm steal, and it will basically have 5 effect cursed onto the enemy's team. Personally, I don't think this skill are that great. I mean, it is good, right? It is good. However, like, how do you say? It's too RNG, right? It is way too RNG. Some mecha wouldn't really matter if, I mean, well, minus, max HP, minus, 20% chance unable to hit the enemy are good, but personally, it's just see it as a really good debuff, but that wouldn't really make, well, it will make a difference depending on the thing that cursed, but again, it is too RNG, right? What if all of them gets, lower, what if all of them get lower HP, or like the one with lower HP doesn't matter, or basically, it wouldn't be at full effectiveness, I guess. Like, if there's a condition like that, for example, the units with highest HP get reduced max HP, and the units with the fastest cooldown will have their cooldown increased by 15%, or like the units with the most attack or whatever will have 20% chance to unable to hit enemies. I think that would be much better, but because it's so random, I don't think this skill is that great. But it is still a very good skill to have, especially into this meta, because all of these debuffs are pretty hurting. So yeah. Hello, yes. So sorry if I'm not talking to the chat right away, because I'm talking about things. So alright, so yeah, but that's basically the chances. And yeah, pretty solid chances for Mecha for today. And because we don't have Wallong Retrofit at the moment, so I do think maybe you can even use Peacock King even more in this meta, but I don't know. Because the thing is, I'm not sure if Peacock King can survive one shot against Mazinkaiser, or not Mazinkaiser Zero. Well, if you have enough feathers, I think it definitely can. If it didn't get grabbed by Mazinkaiser Zero before it used up all its feathers, which I think is pretty easy to do so. So yeah, but yeah, for this you have to ask top player in Ian to know how it was actually is in the thing. Again, it's a very good chassis. Right, now to his weapon. Now for the weapon, I can definitely talk about in Ian. So now, first weapon is blunt melee. There are some blunt melee parts now in Iron Saga, so that can be pretty good. And because it's a blunt weapon, you can technically use this in PvE as well, because the blunt weapon can be used with that blunt weapon parts in order to make enemy take more damage. So that's actually pretty good that it has a blunt weapon. And of course, fist melee is always good in PvP, because you can either make it do more damage against something like Zero, where you can put on the super raw fist, or you can just use claws to make yourself even more survivable. So not bad at all. But basically two of the best kind of, blunt weapon is not the best. Like, I will give that to Long Handle, but it is still good that he at least has fist weapons. And blunt weapon melee, it's not impossible for new parts for blunt weapon melee to come out in the future. So, and now Demon Expel, Thunder. I mean, just your usual attacks. Weapons. I actually don't know too much about them, because again, I don't think they matters as much. I mean, it looks like they're doing some good CCs though, so you can probably do pretty good CC in PvP if you are managed to hit them. Which again, most attacks can't. I feel like most attacks in weapons is pretty hard to hit without any being CC'd by the actions. So, alright, and now let's get into his action. I don't think his actions are that particularly like, how do you say? It's not that it's not. I mean, it's good, right? But it's not particularly unique. And I don't think there's something that I really need to talk about per se. It's good that the weapon are like the weapons are used along with some of the actions, so can give it more chance of hitting. And it also seems like its weapon is not just focused on one unit. A lot of other units on the field can also be attacked as well, so that's also pretty good. And yeah, so finally on the builds for this mecha, for PvE builds is usually PvE. So I'm gonna go into my PvE builds, right? So I'm gonna go to PvE builds and go into CC units, right? Now, not this one. So first of all, if you're gonna be using in PvEs, you can definitely use this one if you have a bot. Like, for example, if you have like something like Ushan or something like if you have a unit that already are doing the hammering, like either hammering or is already doing the knocking down with the long handle parts, then you can switch it on to. Hold on, I probably need to change a unit because I don't want to mislead people, you know, on the thing. So I'm gonna put it. So I'm gonna put on someone who also have blunt weapon. So let's put on who else have blunt weapon? Let's put on Cheetian, right? So imagine this is the peacocking, and you can definitely use something like this. Probably not exactly. Probably not exactly like this, but you know, this part, like have this parts on, so the enemies, the bosses will take more damage because you have a blunt weapon and whatever and wing attack. For 3 seconds, the boss will take more. To find out, you know, will take more melee damages. Or if you don't have other boss CCs, you can obviously put on the usual destruction hammer, so you can do more damage to the boss. So, and yeah, yeah. So, and of course in PvE and for PvP, now for PvP it will be, hold on, let me switch back Wushan, right? Let me switch back to Wushan so I don't forget about it later. Where's Wushan? Where's Wushan? Hold on, where's Wushan? Oh, here it is. And I'm gonna put on the long handle thing back. Alright. So PvP, now I'm just gonna go into a PvP build. Not gonna lie, something like this might even work. Like, it's not hard to build it in PvE because, again, because I don't think the peacocking has anything that can really like that's anything that have what's the thing called? I don't think I have anything that can what was I gonna say? Like, oh, recover HP. So by having a claw, you have, you know, it gives it the ability to get some HP back if it does take, you know, a good amount of damage, because it is sort of a tank, or it's not a tank, it's like a brawler type of unit itself. So something like this will work. The pilots, maybe you can use, I don't think it's picky about pilots, just you can even use Rhea on it. Like, you can pick your support, you can even put Hong, you can put well, Hong is probably better on something else. Like Hong and Byron are probably better on some unit that needs them, right? Like, for example, in the future you might want to put it on Wolong Retrofit. Like, you might want to put Hong on Wolong Retrofit, and you probably want to put something like a unit that requires Byron to stay alive. So because of that, you can probably use it with things like Disaster. Disaster is not picking about pilots. You can probably use it with Rhea. Rhea just as a, I mean, I think it might be a bit risky, but, you know, test it out, right? Test it out on which pilot are better. It is not picking about pilots, so it is definitely a unit that you want to build your team first on. Put the units that you need, like put the units that needs Hongwu and Byron on first, and have a unit that can carry Rhea first. After all of that, then you can choose. Then for the last slot, you can choose Maha, and you can choose a pilot that will be the best for this meta, like Disaster or some other units. So yeah, so that should be it about Peacock Kings. If you guys have any questions, just let me know. So yeah, it's a good unit, but it's not a necessity. In my opinion, I will save for Ling Zhu. I'll save for the next Ian Mecha banner if it is according to the NCC. So save on this Mecha is my opinion, but if you do get it, just know that it is very useful on both PvP and PvE, especially in PvE where, you know, some of the Abyss stage requires, you know, the requirements that this units have. So yeah. And if you want a more in-depth view on its PvP ability or on its PvE abilities or the builds, ask top EM players in the Iron Saga official Discord or in our Discord, so you guys can know what they are using that are doing better for them. So, alright, so now let's get into what else? Let's get into Hell RGK, because again, I don't think Hell RGK is that is anything, right? So let me go into I'm gonna go into Ian. So where is you know, I'm probably gonna go on it on my account real quick. So give me 1 second, right? I'm gonna go on my account. Let me, yeah, there you go. I'm gonna go on my own account because I think I have it, so I can just technically build it right away. So, okay, so let me. Which one do I take out? Which one do I take out? Do I have Alright, I'll use whatever as the thing. So let's go into RGK. So I'm going to put on Byron because I think it needs Byron to exist into this meta. So yeah. Alright, where's Hell RGK? Where's Hell RGK? I think I retrofitted it, I think. Where is it? Where's Hell RGK? Wait, did I not have it retrofitted? I think I did not. What the heck? Okay. If that's the case, wait, hold on. I have it. I'm pretty sure I have it. Oh yeah, I haven't retrofitted it yet. So hold on. Let me actually retrofit first. So yeah, hold on. And retrofit, don't have enough for retrofit. Oh my goodness, I do not have enough. Alright, well, let's just retrofit, I guess. Well, here's the cost if you guys somehow need it, I guess. Alright, let me retrofit, and you know what? They just use for now. It's actually, here's a pretty good comparison too. So, overall stats, nothing to write home about. Should I have a Saga on Power? Yes, definitely. I'll get into that once I talk about Saga. I'll be talking about Saga last probably because it is the one that I want to talk about the most. So yeah. So Saga. Now, I don't think I need to go into too much details on the thing it does. Basically, it does everything that health does, but now all of them have an additional effect. Health attack will plus 50% 5 seconds, triggers my HP, and after 5 seconds, 20% attack bonus will be left for the rest of the battle. Basically, it will be permanent buff on health. Hold on, I'm gonna go into EMake to make sure the freaking translation is right, because I don't think it was attack. I think it was final attack. So give me 1 second. Also, I think I have a similar rankings between. Okay, yeah. We're only 3. My E and NC is only 3 ranks apart. That's kind of funny. All right. Anyway, let's go into let's go to NC to make sure to make sure the E and translation are correct. Because again, it's not impossible that it is wrong. So. Okay. Wait. Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's final attack. Yeah. Ian translation is wrong here because it is not just attack, it is final attack. Yeah. It is final attack increased by 50% and it will also recover a small amount. It will also recover some HP. So that's the downside because final attack and attack are different. So I mean, well, against because it didn't say final damage value. So no, it does say final. Yeah, it does say final damage value. So here. Huge translation error. Well, again, it's not error. They probably just didn't know what. The Saga probably just doesn't know how this game works. But anyway, so this is final damage value. That means it will basically do more damage after firm steel. And so it's not just attack. But it's only for 5 seconds though. So probably just like probably wouldn't matter that much. But anyway, and after that, it will be a 25% attack increase. Now, this attack will be the attack that doesn't calculate after firm steel, but it's still a permanent attack increase that can maybe do some crazy things in in certain modes, whatever modes that would be, right? And the permanent effect can stack, but it can only activate every 5 seconds. So basically you cannot just stack 100% attack if if 4 units died in a row. It will be one after the other every 5 seconds. So yeah. And of course when enemy dies, every unit, hold on, was it the same thing before it? Yeah. So on the second one, basically instead of recurring on the old chances, it would be just the enemy will take some damage. But for this one, now everyone will be basically feared for 1 second. Now, what this means is they will perform a forced action. Again, forced action are the best CC in the game now, because most action into this meta are completely iframe, or you need something else, like you need a forcer or something else to get them out of it. For them to perform an action that is unprotected, is basically just make them naked for 1 second, like forcibly making them naked for like 1 second, and within those 1 second, it can either save your unit from being destroyed by the enemy's actions, or it can open up them up for your unit to, you know, deal a devastating blow onto the enemies using that chance. So very, very strong. But again, it does require enemies to die for that to happen. So if the enemy doesn't have if the enemy doesn't have clones, then you probably, you know, your healer RGK might not be able to activate this units a lot, because, you know, maximum only a few times, right? And because this effect got pretty strong, because it is force action, if there's no cooldown on force action, it'll be pretty broken, just like, you know, Cheat Awaken. But because it is broken, this effect can only activate every 10 seconds. So the enemies are not completely screwed if the enemy are using, you know, a clone or like Cheat or some units like that, right? Even though it can counter Cheat and counter Add or something like that very easily. And of course, final damage taken reduced by 30%, and every 25 seconds it will forcefully activate both of the chassis, because, you know, if the enemy are not using clones or something, you might not even survive 25 seconds to activate both effects. Like, you might. So having this here just to make sure it activates, I think is a pretty good skill to have here. So, but the fact that they need a cooldown for this to activate also shows how predictable, or how predictable and how how potentially not useful Hila is in PvP, because it might just not activate, or it might just die before anything can happen, right? So I definitely think that it's good that they, or I guess this skill both helps them and also shows them that this unit are not necessary, are not a necessity. Alright, so now let's get back into English. So we don't have any things that have things. Alright, so now onto his attack. I don't think much are like, there are much things new. Yeah, two sword melee pretty good, because you can, you know, maybe, well, people usually don't use this skill now. Again, fist melee always good, so this is the skill that I'll probably be using a lot. Or claw is probably the unit. Claw is probably the parts I'll be using a lot, because now I have a fist melee. And for the actions, I think some of them are buffed. However, it is not enough for it to really survive into this meta, right? Back then it was usable in PvE because you can combine it with Lila for it to use the acid skull. For, yeah, that move, you can use that. But the thing is that this skill are not buffed at all, so in PvE it's kind of like dead, because, you know, that was the reason why Hila was able to be used in PvE, but because that there's no buff on that at all, making this unusable in PvE. As anything, honestly, the only place you can use in PvE are probably stages where there are a lot of units, so you can use it to trigger a lot of the, you know, the that's effect to clear faster. Otherwise, it is really not that. It is not a boss material. Yeah, that cannot be a boss like a boss pack anymore. It's a purely PvE tool to go against units like Chitian, or to go against units like a clone mecha. So like a clone meta, whatever it was, right? So, but yeah. Overall, I think it is, if you have healer, right, it's worth it. Like, it's worth if you have healer at 8-star, then I think it is probably worth it to get 1 more copies for this one, so you can use something, so you can fight against units like team that uses a lot of Chitian, or that uses AT. It can really screw up the enemy's team if you can use it with healer. But the thing is, anywhere else that you don't want to use, that doesn't have clone for them to abuse like healer's chassis, it will be kind of subpar compared to any other units in the game at the moment, because it will not survive until it can do damage or do anything else, to be honest. So yeah, but yeah, I mean, healer already has survival problems back then too, so that's just pretty sad. But alright, now let's get into the build. So I'll just keep around, because again, you need a unit to keep this alive. I wouldn't use Hongo, because Hongo want to be on something else. I'm using Byron on it just because I think Byron is the only unit that can really keep Gila alive. You definitely don't want to put Gila or with something that you want to stay alive, like a support pilot or something like that, right? Like, don't put it with Rhea, don't put it with some other units, because again, you need this to be alive. So I think the only choice here are probably Byron and maybe Disaster. Even Disaster, I think, is a bit too hard for it to make Gila survive, because you want Gila to be on the field in order to activate its effect, for it to be going against something like, or for it to go against something like Chi-Tian or something like At, right? So you don't want it to die before it can activate anything else. So for the builds, definitely, again, I wouldn't be going to in PvE builds, because PvE builds, it really wouldn't matter if it uses it or not, so definitely want to use this one, and this one, and Firm Steel, and you definitely want to use this one, and you definitely want to use Pisces, or one of the defensive ones, right? Like Pisces, if you want it to be a little bit more offensive, you can probably put on Scorpion. That can work as well. But personally, I will be a little bit safe, so I'll be using Pisces, or I'll be using Cancer. That can work as well. But I'll probably be using Pisces just to be 100% more safe. So you can just be existing, and if in some time where you do get attacked, hopefully you have some Pisces build up for you to minus the damage or something like that. So. Combat skill, just whatever pilot skill that you have, something that can, preferably something that can work even after you're dead. I will probably use something like Lolo's skill, like Lolo's skill, so it can activate right away at the beginning. So something like Lolo. So Lolo, it can activate right at the beginning of the battle, and after that it will be you'll be fine. Because it doesn't matter if your healer dies or not, the effect has already been activated, so everything is all good. If you want it to be more self-independent, or if you're in a meta where it wouldn't die that easily, you can probably use something like G-Stones, and some of the units have G-Stones like G-Stones, so you can be using it as more offensively or something like that, right? And let's say if you're not in a meta where your units will be die easily, you can definitely change the coding for it to be something like Total Armor or some other units that can probably be better. But personally, I would just be using Camouflage so he doesn't get targeted, because he probably will die even with Byron if he get targeted. So, alright, hopefully that explains everything about Gila. Now let's get into Grey Mazinkaiser Retrofit. So let's get into the development, and let's just talk about Grey Mazinkaiser Retrofit, wherever it was. Alright, Grey Mazinkaiser Retrofit. So Grey Mazinkaiser, Grey Mazinkaiser Retrofit. So, more HP, always good for this kind of mecha. Nothing are really added, I think, if I remember correctly. Let me just make sure, right? Let me just make sure, because again, I can just read unsee a little bit faster, so I just want to make sure, and also to make sure everything's the same. So, nothing too unique is added, but again, having a higher HP is always good. Even by 500, even by 500, more HP is always good. So you can just get more percentage of HP overall, because they definitely need this. And nothing is really much changed except for the new added bonus, that is the what's called Rage. Yeah, Rage is always good, because Rage really just buffs your mecha overall. Increase attack speed, especially movement, weapons exchange, and action speed by 30%. Put this thing on any mecha, it will be broken. Put this on any mecha, it will be broken, because that means you can chain in your actions faster. That means more iframes, and just attack even more, like potentially before the enemy can even do anything about it. And this is something that Grey Mazinkaiser, or just Mazinger 02 needed a lot more, because the main problem about Mazinger 0 or Grey Mazinkaiser is it would not be because it is scared of CCs. It can get knocked around and just unable to do anything because it's constantly being CC'd. That's why people are using Grey Mazinger 0 along with I don't know, but that's why people are using Mazinger 0 with something like Vestlis and Enjoyer, so it can be faster, right? It can be faster. It can do things faster. It can kill enemy faster, because otherwise you're otherwise your Great Mazinkaiser or your Mazin-Zero can be unkillable, but you won't be able to do any damage. That's why people are using Enjoyer instead of any HP parts on it, right? Because yeah. And now with this skill, with Rage, you're no longer required to use an Enjoyer, because here's an Enjoyer for you, right? Here's a permanent Enjoyer kind of for you. It's not as good, but it is still here for you, right? And the 30% attack are pretty huge if you want your own Zero to if you want your own Zero or your own Great Mazinkaiser to do more damage onto the enemy's Zero or the enemy's Great Mazinkaiser, if they're depending on how high their HP is. So definitely a great unit to have, especially in this meta. In fact, when this unit was released, there was a time where Great Mazinkaiser was used more than Zero, because finally a unit that is unkillable are able to also dish out the damage that can do because of this parts finally. So yeah, very great units to have. Or hold on, like, because Zero will also get the chassis once Zero Retrofit comes, so it'd probably better to still save for Zero to roll for Zero and just use an Enjoyer for now if you want it to be both a tank and do damage. But for now, if you have, let's say, an 8-star Great Mazinkaiser or a 7-star Great Mazinkaiser even, I think it might be worth it to actually get this to 10-star, because this skill really buffs its offensive ability and defensive ability up by a lot. Like, buff its like anti-CC abilities by a lot. So yeah, definitely awesome. I do think there are definitely additional things in here, but okay, the thing is, this chassis alone buff everything. This chassis alone buff its entire arsenal, because again, all of these weapons, all of these actions, they're gonna be chaining much faster now. They're gonna be chaining much faster, doing more damage and just doing better overall. So I don't even need to get into like the new skills, because again, they are just all buffed up. So yeah, pretty awesome. Is there anything I want to say? But yeah, so just if you let's say if you have let's say if you have a 7-star Great Mazinkaiser or a 8-star. If you have an 8-star, I highly suggest you get one more copy just so you can get a Great Mazinkaiser that is on steroids. Look how fast is that? Like it's a flash, essentially. Yeah, 30% increase. That's just overall stronger things. A lot of times, the same mecha, if you just have this chassis, you can use it in for another like 2 or 3 months, just because of how strong this chassis is. So, and in fact, it did. Like, it really was the unit to go until Zero come out. Like, until Zero get the same chassis, this unit are the new Zero, essentially. But again, it is not a necessity, right? Because a Zero with Enjoyer can do pretty much the same thing. The only difference is that because Great Mazinkaiser already have this speed and attack increase and stuff, it doesn't require to use Enjoyer anymore, and so you can have more HP in order for it to do more unnegatable damage onto the enemies for every tick that it does. So yeah, pretty awesome. So I think that shows how strong Great Mazinkaiser. Not even Great Mazinkaiser. Great Mazinkaiser is like it have its flaws on its actions. I mean, both Great Mazinkaiser and Mazinkaiser have its flaws on his actions, on being just a little bit more support compared to this meta. But because of this chassis, like, it's mainly about how strong this chassis is instead of how strong Great Mazinkaiser is. So, but anyway, let's get into the builds. So I'm gonna go to my NC action horn. I'm gonna start with PvE builds first. So PvE builds, because I have it on here. So for PvE builds, you really want to build it for DPS. So this is the thing I go for. Because I don't have Hongwu or I don't have it here, but something like this definitely works. But because you'll be using Hongwu, I'll probably use something like Bar Mob or some other, or some other DPS, like something that do more damage, something that do more damage, or something that just make your action go faster. You can probably even go for Enjoy even if you want to, right? And it's just a build that I think that you really do. You don't even need Firm Seal, because I don't think Great Mazinkaiser will die with this, but let's say if you're dying, then definitely use Firm Seal on it. And I'm using this because I don't want people to activate the thing right away, but you really want to use Bahuko so you can activate Active Seal right away for Linda, so you can use the full damage to it. So, but I'm using Berserker because I don't want people to spam, the action right away. But yeah, usually Bahuko is enough. You don't even need a max Bahuko because again, Great Mazinkaiser already give you like 30% SP. And actually no, yeah, Baikuko all the way, because again, as long as your SP is full, you can do more damage. The only reason why I am using Berserker is because I want people to activate the Funnel's active skill first instead of the Mazinkaiser's active skill first. So yeah. So alright, so that should be the build for PvE. Now let's get into the PvP builds. The PvP builds, it's just 0 builds, honestly. It's just 0 builds. So you know what? Here. This is the build. There you go. That's the build. That's the build for this is the build for PvP. Even though this is Great Mazinger 0, but honestly there isn't much differences. The pilots really depends on what pilots is the best. Like of course, Tetsuya is the best for it technically. But there's nothing, you know, stopping you from using other units that can have a defensive slot for HQ skill. Because again, you don't need Enjoyer anymore. You don't need an Enjoyer anymore for it to do damage. You want to do more. You want more HP in order for it to do even more damage, technically speaking. So yeah. All right, so that should be it about the PvP. That should be it about the PvP builds. Let's get into the biggest thing today, which is the Sayaka Awaken, and I'll be looking at NC along with Ian, because again, you don't know if Ian has something wrong, because they really get a lot of things wrong, man. Holy crap. Also, please consider, you know, sharing and liking this video. It will help me out a lot on the things, and yeah. So let's get into Sayaka Awaken's thingies. Do I have the thing? Alright, here it is. Yep. Sayaka Awaken, and let's wait, hold on. This is okay, so this is NC, and I've been using Saga, but I didn't know why I did. Okay, you know, hold on. Let me change Saga on. Where's Saga? Yeah, here's Saga. And I'll put on the so yeah, this is the biggest thing for today, because Saga is really, again, Saga replaced, yeah, Sayaka Awaken replaced Ashima in PvE. Literally, it became the best PvE support just because of how strong she is, and in PvP and in PvP as well. PvP, you know, the meta now has been dominated by male pilots, because for some reason they just make male pilots have some crazy action type skills, right? And you also have Tetsuya, which is usually the best choice on Mazinger 0, or top choice for Mazinger 0 or Great Mazinkaiser Retrofits. And that means your PvP battles are usually gonna be 3 male. So Saga have a new skill that buffs male pilots are so much more better, essentially. Like the only time you wouldn't use Saga is if your pilots are full female, and then you can probably use Rhea on instead of, you know, then you can probably use Rhea instead of Saga. So alright, so first active skill, HP plus 20%, attack defense plus 30% for all allies in immune reload action. Just a usual, you know, buff mode, and you know, G mode, just a usual one and done. Now, it was a mistake, because it says all ally recover 20% HP. It is not plus 20% HP. Like, I don't know what is wrong with the translations, man. What do you mean HP plus 20%? It sounded like it would increase their max HP by 20%. Now, it didn't say max HP, but it sounded like this, right? But no, it is all units, all allies recover 20% HP, and at the same time 10% chance, or at the same time, within 10 seconds, 30% increase on attack and defense. Makes no sense. It's really misleading. That's why every time I do this, I have to read both EN and NC to make sure the translation are correct. So yeah. I would say just translate the skill on the Japanese text in order to get, you know, the things. So like the correct, you know, translations. So yeah. Anyway, so on to the second skill. So second skill, self-handed defense plus 30%. All male. Yeah. So this is the parts where in PvP, if you have all male pilots, then that would be pretty. Or if all of your other pilots are male, then this would be pretty good. All male pilots will uplift Saga and have their CD recovery, but basically their cooldown will be reduced by 10 seconds, which is again pretty strong. Like 10-second cooldown are pretty huge in PvP, so and in PvE as well, honestly. So that's pretty good. It should. Well, like, not a Retrofit, right? Okay, but they're not the same scale, so they should stack. Like, whatever it is that is stacking, it should stack. So yeah, don't worry about it. Unless they're the same skill name, then it wouldn't stack. So yeah, pretty good scale, especially in PvP when all of your other pilots are. Yeah, when all of your other pilots are male, even if you have just one male, this skill will already be pretty strong. So yeah, pretty good. And now Absolute Drop. Upon activate once per second, action CD reduced by 5%. Now this is just literally quickens the freaking, like, it just help whoever it was to reduce 5% CD. And it's once per second. That's pretty broken. And damage dealt by 140%. That's broken. For allies closest to Sayaka Yumi. So so people see. Okay, I will exit out for a little bit. So see, look, what would you usually use Saga on, right? A support unit, right, or a CC unit, right? A CC unit because your other would be, like, for example, your range CC would be her, right? And your would be her and Slokai. Both of these are probably better on a range units, depending on your PvE teams. So your close range CCs will be closer to your DPS. That means you can pretty much be buffing your, like, it's much easier for this skill to buff your DPS instead. And let's say, even if it doesn't buff your DPS, having more of action, like action cooldown on the CC ability are also good. So this skill is once per second. Once per second, that's insane. That's 10 second. That is 50% cooldown just reduced for you. It's broken, and not to mention the more damage increase. This skill alone can replace Ashima in PvE already, like as a boss, as a boss or as a DPS buff for your allies. So pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. And now for the last skill, once every 2 seconds, perform a team recovery on for the allies with the lowest HP, heals 6% HP and cleanse all debuffs. Now this skill are pretty good, are a better, like, is a better heal skill for like compared to Ashima's or some other skills, because again it creates a field on there. So basically, potentially some other units, if they're nearby, they can get healed in. But the most important thing is that it also cleanse debuffs. Now, a lot of times, right, your units are dying because they are debuffed in some ways, right? Or let's say if you're in Wolo meta, which everyone are stunned by the thunders, right? This can potentially make your units start moving immediately, and that's really strong. It is emergency heal on steroids. So both the healing skill and the buffing skill are better than Ashima in both PvP and PvE. Just make her a replacement for both PvP and PvE, even if you're not using any male pilots, honestly. So yeah, pretty amazing. Just, like, I don't know, it's not perfect, but like, it is the best support pilot in the game at the moment. In both PvP, PvE, and she is a free pilot, I think. Is she a free pilot? I think she is, right? She's a free pilot in the in development, and she is someone that you want to get. So yeah, if you just started now or something, definitely get at least 3,000 is not much. So get her, get her and awaken her. She is good. She is really good. So yeah. And what else? And for the builds, honestly, yeah, for PvE builds, something like this, just your usual, setup for DPS, preferably on your melee CC, so it can be more, so it can be on closer proximity with your DPS. And for PvP, it just takes the place of Rhea. It just takes the place of, it literally just take the place of Rhea, and this is something that you use it on. You want to use large armor, but I'm using this one because I don't have another large armor. But just yeah, it takes the place of Rhea. So put her on something like, you know, put her on something like put her on something like, what's that unit called again? Odin. Yeah, put her on Odin or some other, you know, tanky mecha that are supposed to be tanking, right? Or just replace your Rhea on whatever your Rhea is on, or whatever your support pilot is on, because she is just better than whatever support pilot you're using at the moment, if you're not using her already. So alright, that should be everything about this game, or about the thing I want to talk about. Let's see what next is for Ian. Hopefully there isn't much new unit that come out for Ian. For the next month, I'll be talking about it. Like for the next month, I'll probably wait until the entire month to make a video overall on the, you know, on everything that dropped. And if you guys have any questions in regards to everything I talk about today, please you know, please just ask. Yeah, either ask here, like if I end the stream that before you can ask, so just ask in the comments below, or join our Discord that is linked in the description to join and, you know, and ask me a question there. So that can work as well. Just ping me, make sure so I know, you know, so I can be notified by the questions. So alright, is there anything else I need to do today? I don't think so. I think I got everything done. Yeah, awesome, I guess. Alright, any more questions? If not, I'll just call it a day. I want to keep the stream a bit short so it doesn't, you know, so it is not like, you know, too long, so yeah. Alright, seems like there's no more questions. Well, 12 people, welcome, but yeah, for those who just joined, just rewind the video a little bit. I talk about everything. The timestamp for each things will be timestamped in the comments and in the description. So I may have missed something. If I miss something, I'll be listing them into the thing. So you in Zero PvP, why do they use Tetsuya instead of Koji? Because Tetsuya are just better overall. Because, you know, like for example, meta right now. So here's the meta, right? I'm gonna put it. Well, now, okay, I don't know if this is not a top PvE meta, but this is a build that like here, for example, like right here, something like this, right? Look on the mail. You got a mail, you got 3 mail, right? You got 1, 2, and 3 mails, right? You got 3 mails here. And Tetsuya have the skill that increases see, look here, yeah, grants allies final defense for mail pilot by 15%. So he will get 30% by himself, and both him and him will get 15%. And because it's 3 mails, Sayaka can also buff all their action cooldown by an additional 10%, which is pretty broken. So yeah, true. The thing is, Koji is not bad. It's just Tetsuya's better, you know, in overall. So I mean, look, if you change Tetsuya to Koji, it might not make that much of a difference, but in top PvP, it's always better to have a slightly higher RNG of winning compared to, you know, having a less RNG of winning. Again, like, you can use Koji. You can use Koji on to repair Tetsuya if you want. Like, you can, but it's just you will have a slightly lower RNG to win compared to, you know, if you were to use Koji. It's less optimal. It's good, but it's less optimal. So yeah. Isn't Koji's too, again, CC's, hold on. Let me just make sure I see what his skill is, because there's definitely reasons why they're not being used, right? Potentially the CC might not, the NCC might not be enough. So yeah. Where's Tetsuya? So his CC is, oh, okay, yeah, but the thing is, that is not, yeah, that is not a problem anymore. Yeah, that is not a problem anymore, especially for the mecha that you want to put it on. It's not really a problem anymore. And if you really, if it is a problem, right, the skill is too easily replaceable, right? If you want to anti this, let's say if somehow your units are being knocked down a lot. Oh, actually, no. 100%, okay, 100% anti-knockdown is a lie. Yeah, it is a lie. Because you know why? Because a lot of attack now does 1,000% knockdown, or 9,999% knockdown. Yeah, I mean, look, this is Iron Saga for you, right? Yes, it can probably be immune to some basic knockdown skills, but when you're up against skill that have a 1,000% chance of knocking you down, 100% anti would not be doing anything. You're missing the next 900% for you to do knockdown. So yeah, now it's not completely useless. It can prevent some smaller knockdown skills a little bit, but you know, there's a reason why no one really uses, or if you really want to, right? If you really want to anti-knockdown, right, you might as well use chest stabilizers if that is a problem, right? There's so much part that can anti that, so yeah. Only goodies build. I don't have him yet. I don't think. Yeah. Okay. So for that one, wait until we come to EN. Then I'll talk about it, because for now I don't know, because I never have it. So yeah. So yeah. I would assume it's similar to the regular PvE builds, depending on what you're building. I have things in mind on how I can build it, but I don't want to say it because, again, I never tested it. I only fight against it, so I don't know. So yeah, wait until it comes to EN, then I'll talk about it, right? So, any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Please consider sharing and liking this video. It will help me a lot, and of course, see you next time I'll be talking about Lingzu and probably some other or whatever mecha that drop in EN for next month. So imagine they drop, freaking Wall on Thunder. The meta will finally be changing. Alright. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? If not, we'll just call it a day. Hey, yeah. Man. Alright. I don't want to make this. I don't want to make this stream an hour long, so just call it now. So, wait, do you have a non-tank GMK build? It is just okay. Hold on. Non-tank GMK build is just it's just this. Hold on. Actually, no. Okay, so you probably want to build a tank GMK. Oh no, wait. So, yeah. Yeah, I think yes. Okay, so if you want to build a non-tank GMK build, right? That is, watch my video on how to build. Watch my video on how to build Mazinkaiser Zero after Wolong Meta. Watch that video, because that video will show you how to build. That video will show you how to build just both Great Mazinger and Mazinkaiser Zero, without the retrofits of non-tank like the DPS build. But if you have a retrofitted, if you have a retrofit like this one, you don't need any other builds anymore. HP build is the way to go, because again, the chassis, the Awaken or the retrofit is not about what changed. It's the new chassis. It's how strong the new chassis is combined with his old stuff, right? That chassis solved the problems for Mazinkaiser Zero, so you don't need any other builds. Yeah. Maybe you can probably put on something like anti-immunity or something like that, but I don't think you need it anymore. Like, right? You don't need it anymore. When you have other, your allies helping you cleanse and stuff like that. So, you don't need one. You don't need a pacifism. You can just use what's it called? You can just use what's her name? Yeah, Kuons. You don't need max HP. Like, you don't need max HP, right? You only need something about HP, right? Yeah, Kuon works. The only time that I can see you don't have it is if you have 3 zeros, like 3 zeros and Mazinkaiser, then it's fine. And also, if you don't have her, right? If you don't have Nia, right? Or if you have Nia, you can replace your Rhea with Sayaka, and then use Rhea's co-pilot skill on on him, and that can work. Like what I do now. Like for example, like this one, right? This is what I do now. So yeah. Alright, any more questions, guys? Any more questions? And actually, if you don't have any HP skill, you can just use a HP. I can use Alicia. Actually, no, Alicia probably will want HP parts as well. But yeah, I wouldn't worry. Yeah, I really wouldn't worry. Just have like Kunon works as well. It's just 12% HP. I mean, it can matter a little bit, but I mean, look, I don't think in the grand scheme of things, it'll be that much of a problem. So yeah. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? Yeah, thank you for listening. Yeah, thank you. Alright, I gotta call it again. If you just joined recently, just rewind a little bit to see what I talk about. The timestamp should be out in about 30 minutes ish. 20 to 30 minutes ish. It'll just be 4 timestamps. So yeah. Alright. Well, thank you all so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Goodbye.